Today's GoldieBlox video is brought to you by Missing Link.
In theaters, April 12th.
And directed by Butler.
Watch it, it's great.
We're about to go do an interview with the writer/director, Butler.
I'm like low-key like nervous, but it's
I have
fine.
some pretty good questions. Actually, I have one good question. So
What's your question?
check out for that. I can't tell you. You'll
I
steal
think
it.
you don't have a question, and you're just kind of like, well, I have a good question. What's up, girl?
Let's go to our interview.
What is it? Hello, I'm GoldieBlox.
And I'm Ruby.
And we're gonna interview today. So first of all, I'm like super fangirling over like Paranorman because like I watched that when I was like super young.
Were you scared by it?
I mean, no. I
Good.
mean, like, I thought it was like
definitely
cool.
scared.
Like I thought I wanted to see ghosts. Like I wanted to be like friends with ghosts.
Me
point.
too. Well, so
Yeah.
Norman is kind of based on me.
Really?
When I watched Paranormal, and I was so scared, and I was like, oh my gosh.
How old were you though?
I was like 6. So
Well.
kind of not acceptable, but I don't
No,
by
it is.
myself.
It depends. It
Right.
depends because I used to love scary movies when I was a kid.
How did you come up with like the personalities of the characters, especially like Adelina, who's very adventurous and rebellious? And are they based on any women that you know or women in history?
Well, yes, actually, I did do a lot of research about women in that time period because it was, you probably noticed that she wears like these adventuring pants, which are really cool. But at that time that the movie set, the idea of women wearing pants at all was like outrageous.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Right.
they just didn't. So I wanted her to be representative of all those women from history who really, like the ones who, the first one to climb a mountain, the first one to explore a jungle.
Right.
I was like, that's Adelina.
Okay.
And she wants to hold her own with Lionel.
We were super inspired by like everything that goes into like stop motion videos that like we kind of like make our own.
Ooh.
So like, what's your like top tips for stop motion?
Have you got a puppet?
This is a puppet.
Oh, you
Made-
just so happen
we
to
have
have
the, like each like part of like the character. So like this is Lionel's vest, Link's hair, and these are her gloves. So really
Yeah,
cute.
so it's like a little like mashup of all of them.
May I?
Yes.
Of course.
So like, yeah.
I can see the resemblance.
Yeah, it's
That's pretty good.
Thanks.
Well, that's it. You can start.
really?
It looks like an Oscar.
It does. Oh, give it back. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
It's your personalized Oscar.
I was wondering like what you learned from your past movie Paranorman and how you grown and like you put it into this movie.
Well, I got older. That's for sure. So for me, you know, Paranorman was my first movie, and I kind of didn't know what I was doing. But I knew what story I wanted to tell. I knew the characters that I wanted to tell the story with. I knew for this movie that I wanted to have a character that everybody would love.
Yeah.
As soon as they saw him, they want to reach into the screen and
Yeah.
hug him.
So cute.
And it's 100%
So you like
the
him?
truth. Yes.
Yes.
Hey!
I mean, because
Job
like
done.
I caught myself like watching the trailer and like watching the little snippets, being like, he's so adorable. Like I just want to like pet him and like be like, you're so adorable.
Did you get a chance to touch the puppet?
Yes. He's like squishy. I was not expecting him to be
Squishier than you'd think.
Yeah, I thought he was
Yeah.
like clay, and he wasn't
Oh, no.
clay. He's very
No.
much rubber. So what inspired you to tell this story?
When I was a kid, loved adventure movies, so like Indiana Jones, that kind of thing. And I also used to love reading Sherlock Holmes stories. And so I thought, well, what if I kind of put these together?
Right.
So you've got a hero who's a little bit like Indiana Jones, a little bit like Sherlock Holmes, and he's finding mythical creatures.
Right.
And that was the central idea.
Yeah, there is like a little twinge of like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah,
like,
oh, yeah.
especially with like the
The costumes
I see that
and
now.
that, yeah.
For stop motion, I'm curious how you got started because like digital animation is so like it's much easier than a word.
I have to stop you there. All animation is incredibly difficult. I think it's a different way of doing things. I used to work on 2D movies, which are entirely drawn and painted. But that's where I started. I started out in 2D, so I was doing
Oh,
drawings.
okay.
Yeah.
So you like drew before?
Yeah,
Do you
still
that help
do.
you like be a director?
Yeah, I think so. I did some animation, and actually the characters in Missing Link, I designed a lot of them.
Did you really?
That's really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
I have an idea of who these characters are when I start, but then we cast and we bring in these actors, and they bring so much that I didn't even think of to the role. So when I record the first few times with Zoe or Zach or Hugh, there's things that they do, there's the way that they say things that gives me new ideas, and I'll go away and I'll rewrite things and then bring that back. So it's constantly evolving.
Did you meet Hugh Jackman?
Did I meet him?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, like that.
Really?
I'm jealous.
That's so cool.
I'm so jealous.
He's great, and his British accent is better than mine.
Really?
So who's your favorite character in Missing Link, or which one do you think is like most like you?
There is definitely a little bit of me in all three of the main characters. Oh, have I got to choose? There is a character that you meet really late on in the movie, and she's voiced by Emma Thompson. And she's, I don't want to spoil it, how much should I say? She's a Yeti character, and she's amazing. She looks amazing, and she's the coolest character. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Shangri-La?
We call it.
What does it mean?
Keep out, we hate you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
being with
much.
us.
My pleasure. Thanks for coming.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
I offer you a glimpse of a legendary creature. He's had many names.
Actually, I go by Susan.
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 That is a girl's name.
That's correct.
It suits you.